Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be playing some historic Brawl, making a return to one of our favourite commanders. We're going to be playing Tatyova Benthic Druid, since the new Crimson Vow did actually add a couple new tools to the deck. So, let's talk about the commander first. Tatyova Benthic Druid is a 5-mana 3/3 Merfolk Druid, although irrelevant. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life and draw a card. And so our deck is all about making land drops. We've got lots of ways to do that. Plenty of like Harrow based effects, Harrow being sack a land, put 2 basics into play. We got plenty of those. We got, you know, your classic Uros and things like that. And then the idea is that we're going to be mostly our main game plan is that we're going to be a Field of the Dead deck. This says if you have 7 or more lands with different names under your control, every land enters creates a zombie token. So we can get the Field of the Dead out in a number of ways. We've got the brand new Cartographer's Survey, 4-mana sorcery. Look at the top 7 cards of your library and put 2 land cards onto the battlefield tapped, and then the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So this can hit non-basics, which is really important. So we're going to be trying that one out. And then we also have the usual suspects of Hour of Promise as well, which gets you 2 land cards onto the battlefield tapped of your choice. And then if you've got 3 or more deserts, you do a thing, but we don't really have 3 or more deserts, I don't believe. We've got like Haship Oasis. I think that's about it, actually. Desert-wise, yeah. We're not really trying to get the Hour of Promise side of things triggering, because the 2 lands you're going to get, if you imagine you've got unique lands on turn 5 when you play Hour of Promise, then you just have to get 2 unique lands from Hour of Promise, and one of them's always going to be Field of the Dead, which means you only have to get 1 unique land with Hour of Promise to then get 2 zombies out of it anyway. So that's kind of the idea. We also got Cultivator Colossus as well. It's a 7-mana star. Its power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control, and when it enters the battlefield you may put a land from your hand onto the battlefield tapped, and if you do, draw a card and repeat this process. I'm picturing this with Tatyova already out on the battlefield. Tatyova drawing cards as well means that we get 2 cards to hit, and then Cultivator Colossus gets to put a land from one of those 2 cards. That's hopefully the idea anyway. Out of the 100 cards in our deck, we've got, I think, 38 lands. So a decent amount. You got to consider as well that we've got lots of MDFCs, although Cultivator Colossus won't allow you to play MDFCs. So 38 possible hits with Cultivator Colossus anyway. Drawing 2 with the Tatyova already on board is the idea. I don't think I played this on the channel when Midnight Hunt came around, but we did get some Midnight Hunt cards as well. We got Slowgurk the Overslime, 3-mana 3/3 with Trample. Whenever a land is put into your graveyard from anywhere, you put a counter on Slowgurk, and then you can remove 3 counters to return it to its owner's hand, so it makes it kind of hard to deal with. And then you can have it, when it leaves the battlefield, return up to 3 target land cards from your graveyard to your hand. As we mentioned, we've got quite a fair few Harrow effects, so we've got lots of sacrifice lands. We've got fetch lands in here in Terramorphic Expanse, Field of Ruin, Fabled Passage, Evolving Wilds, and all of that nonsense. So we should have 3 cards to hit with Slowgurk. That's at least the idea. So he should be very annoying. And I think that's mostly about it for the new cards in this particular deck. I think so. Oh, actually, we got the Wash Away. I'm sure most of you know this one by now. It's a 1-mana counter your commander spell, but you can also cleave it for 3 mana to make it just a normal cancel counter spell, which is really nice. So it's basically an auto-include in any blue deck, similar to the way that Tail's End ended up being a blue auto-include as well. So, something like that to keep in mind. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you do, I really appreciate it if you do hit that like button and subscribe for more Brawl content in the future. Greatly appreciate it, and enjoy the video. This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button down below, or check out the Patreon link in the description. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Alrighty then, we're in, and probably going to need this Call in the Ambush, because we're up against Emery. Emery who wins by comboing. Every single tap land, though. That's a bit of an oof, honestly. So I think we're going to have to take the... Okay. There's another fight spell. Slowgut can kill Emery, and... Maybe we can do a thing here. I'm going to keep this one. No blue sauce, of course, but we'll figure that out. Inventor's Fair. Hope of Girapa. So Emery now costs 2, by the way. 3 mana, 1/2. Spell costs 1 less to cast for each artifact you control, and when Emery enters the battlefield, you mill 4 cards, and then you can tap Emery to return an artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield. And then... Oh, sorry, back to your... You can cast cards from your graveyard that you target with Emery. My brain. It's melting. Emery's a combo deck, though. It's very much a Paradox Engine nonsense kind of list, so our opponent will want to be getting Emery not summoning sick as part of their game plan. So something to keep in mind. That is not a blue source. It is a unique land, though, so I'm just going to play it. And then I guess we're going to go with the Cartographer's Survey and hope that we hit 2 lands from it. Should do. We are a lands deck after all. It would be very unfortunate. Alright, there's Emery, and we did hit an artifact, and there's even... Metalwork Colossus is in there. Who is getting reduced by 3 mana as well. Something to note. Okay. So these got into the battlefield, so I could play Tatyova into Decisive Denial, maybe. I think that's the plan. I have to hit 2 lands here for that to happen, of course. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay, that is the first time I've cast that spell, and that's not a... It's not a good start for you, Cartographer Survey. Gotta say, I'm not impressed. Well, I can play my commander, but will my commander just get immediately countered? Depends on what Emery wants to do here, I suppose. So they can play the 2 mana nonsense. I'm not really sure what Metalwork Colossus can do, but I also... Yeah, I mean... Come now, opponent. It's very obvious what you've got there. So I'm going to get this blue source out here so that we can go Slowgurk with Decisive Denial open. We got like a Tail's End. Mystical Dispute. Count unless you pay 3. I will pay 3. Okay. We've arrived, so whenever a land is put into your graveyard from anywhere, put a counter on Slowgurk, so we can sack the Cryptic Caves if we wanted to. I'm really looking to River's Rebuke our opponent here. I think it will be kind of brutal. So if our opponent could do like some crazy stuff where Metalwork Colossus is involved, because doesn't this have to... Yeah, this has to sack artifacts to get it back. And that's a wonderful tap out for me. I'm happy with that. The Hope of Girapa, though, if they sack it, it's going to be very annoying. You're going to sack it, aren't you? Oh, I am filled with deep hate. Deep hatred. Alright, well, instead then, we get to go Tatyova here. Priority's been held on the Witch's Oven, or it could be a Pact to Negation. I imagine they probably run that card as well. Let's play Tatyova, draw a card. Get a Zalfar Void. And you don't do anything on attacks, right? You do something on leaves the battlefield, though. Good to know. Hit you for 3. I don't hate where we're at. River's Rebuke is 6 mana, 2, 4, 6, plus the 1 mana that we're going to put in there means we can Rebuke plus Denial, so we should be able to reset our opponent like crazy, which would be nice. We could even take an extra turn and fight through counters. Might be worth doing. Immortal Sun. Okay. I'm going to say that's fine. So we've got 3 mana plus cost reduction. Network Colossus coming back for free. Sure. So I think it's a Rebuke here with Denial backup. Because we still get our land drop and draw a card, gain our life, and we get to swing for 6. Opponent's going to Inscription. Alright, well, that is a counter unless you pay 3. Let me just double check they don't have any hidden mana. They don't appear to have any hidden mana. So let's reset them there. Inspired Ideas, very nice. So let's do Scry, then draw. Might get a better idea of what we want to do with our turn. Like, I could just take this land and then go to Khan's Temporal Sundering. Since they're tapped out, I can resolve that, and that's kind of nice. I like that idea, actually. Let's do that. Give me that land. Temporal Sundering. Take an extra turn, bounce the Colossus. Let's see if they sack it for food tokens. That'd be nice for our follow-up turn, to be honest, because we just get rid of the food tokens anyway. I'm only doing this to get him for 6 points of damage, because I know I can. So, hit you for 6. And next turn, Field of the Dead, fantastic. That's live and ready to go, so now making zombie tokens. Tireless Provisioner is good for a follow-up turn, but we're going to start with River's Rebuke here, I think. Yeah, let's just do River's Rebuke. It's not like a god tier line of play, but it does make our opponent explode and lose, so I will take it. Like, we are giving our opponent, like, Wellspring and the supplies and the globe as redraws. But if they're doing that, they're kind of spending so much time replaying these things while I'm building up 2/2s and hitting them. They really need to start being very reactive, and they can't really do that while also just drawing cards at the same time. Like, Immortal Sun's not going to change the state of this board. The redraws are going to leave them taxed on mana. You know, they can't do the Gilded Lotus or anything like that without having, you know, the 3 mana be relevant for a follow-up move. And then we're going to be drawing 3 cards as well. So, yeah, I'd say this this game was definitely in the bag, and we can move on to the next one. Alrighty, we're in, and it's a 3-lander with not much to do with it, so I think we're going to mull this one. Here we've got technically a 3-lander, but I think I'd want to Dwari's Disruption something, although being on the draw, Disruption's lost its value. It's a tough one again, but I think we can take this one because it allows us to play the Survey, most likely. And the Survey is yet to impress me. I know it should impress me, but it ain't. It ain't doing it. So our opponent's playing Sithis. That's a huge pickup for us. We're going to go Temple and top any land we see. Sithis Harvest Hand, green and white for a 1/2. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you gain 1 life and draw a card, and it is an enchantment itself. So I think what we're going to do is stick this on blue and pass the turn. I think we probably want to use the Dwari's Disruption here. They get a cast trigger to draw cards off of any enchantment they play. But I think I can probably just be happy getting rid of certain things. That's really not great for me. Destroyer's Disruption is now a land. Do get a Reclaimer. So yeah, I think that's the plan. I think it's just play that as a land, play the Reclaimer, we can at least block Sithis. Next turn, Symbiosis bolted into Survey, then we've got Hour of Promise to get Field of the Dead active. Maybe even play Tatyova somewhere along the line, but Sithis does have lots of Banishing Light effects in the old bag there. So I'm not confident that if I played Tatyova it would live. Tome of the Infinite is actually kind of interesting, but I don't think it's the line we're taking here. I think we are still going to go with the Cartographer's Survey here. Wow, okay. Barely hit on that one. Barely got there. But this does mean Hour of Promise is an active Field of the Dead. I just have to ask myself, do I want to play Tatyova first? Take 2 again. I'd love a River's Rebuke or something like that. Kalni Ambush. So you cost 2 to activate, which means I can't play Tatyova and activate to get the Field of the Dead. I'd have Tatyova plus a land drop to gain 1 life. It would be a blocking force on the ground, though, which has its value. Greed line or Field of the Dead line. I think you've got to go Field of the Dead line. So Field of the Dead, and I think we're taking a fetch. Yeah, looks like we're taking a fetch. So let's get the Fabled Passage. So 2 zombies. Keep the Kalni Ambush as an interaction spell at this stage. Not in love with where we're at. I think we definitely need some assistance from the top of our deck. Rude. Can I still activate it? Can't attack or block, it's just a pacifism. Opponent's got 9 lives. If I ever draw River's Rebuke, I win the game now. But I might not live that long. That's a lot of damage. I think I am going to absorb some of it. Since I can make plenty more zombies where that came from. And the flyers in the air are going to be the big problem here. So let's do Tatyova. Fetch with Fabled Passage, make a zombie. It doesn't matter, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it doesn't matter what I take here, so let's just grab a forest. Ah! Grab a forest. Thank you. Zombie draw. Cascade draw. Zombie. Inspired Idea. I could do an X2 Voracious Hydra. I am in a lot of trouble because of the Destiny Spinner, though. Yeah, such a tough spot to be in. Maybe it's Tome of the Infinite. We try and get, like, Swords to Plowshares and things like that. Can also get a, was it Ponder as well from this one? Yeah, Ponder. That would have also been nice. Opponent does have the Banishing Light. Let's see where they go with it. Gonna go after my tome, so I'll activate in response. Get a giant growth. Not ideal. Does allow me to growth ambush though without killing my Tatyova, and I can hit some big stuff. Oh, that's not good. How close to dead does that make me? I'd say pretty close. 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, that puts me dead. Well then. I don't think there's anything I could do about that except for hold up and calm the ambush. But I really didn't expect to see all that glitters there. Yeah, we were just a River's Rebuke away from winning that game. It's a shame we didn't find it. Maybe I had to go with the inspired idea, but I really didn't want to play it for 3 mana, knowing that it would reduce my hand size by 3. But maybe it was what I needed to do. It also wouldn't have left me with River's Rebuke mana, so it's hard to say whether or not that would have been useful. But yeah, I guess in hindsight, ambush being open at all times was the line of play. I mean, I would have even been trading my Tatyova for a token as well, which I think says all it needs to say about the value lost there. So I don't think I was ever going to make that line of play. It just doesn't really make sense, but yeah, definitely got punished for not doing the nonsensical play. On to the next one. Alrighty, we play first. Got a Lotus Cobra on the play. I like that. Lotus Cobra on the play. As a backup, we got Beanstalk Giants, Fertile Footsteps, and Growth Spiral. So we got a lot going on here. I think we always lead with Snarl. I could Void to try and get a basic so it comes into play on tap, but I don't think it really makes that big of a difference. Reliquary Tower. We are going to Void here. An extra land. Do I need that? I play a land next turn with Lotus Cobra, assuming it lives. And if it doesn't... See, its issue is that I don't have many coloured sources here, but Beanstalk Giant can fix that. So I think I'm bottoming... playing Lotus Cobra. This hand allows me to cast Tatyova, and I think that's like the important part. Does our opponent have the removal? They've got Shovel. So the answer to that question is no. So I get to go Field of Ruin, add green. Let's do, I guess, Fertile Footsteps first. Doesn't really make a difference what order I do this in. Grab a Snow-Covered Forest. Get blue. Play Growth Spiral. Play Reliquary Tower. And that's my turn. I'd say it's a pretty good turn. Our opponent is probably playing Shovel as a greedy line of play, because they get to put the counter on Lotus Cobra here, and then when they kill it, they get to gain 3 and draw a card. Maybe that's what they're planning on doing. They actually don't. Huh. Well, I didn't see that coming. Alright, we're going to go with Cartographer's Survey, which will leave me with 3 mana if I hit both. They didn't remove my Lotus Cobra, so maybe I even play my Tatyova. I want to kind of keep my Tail's End open, though, but what am I keeping it open for? I don't know. I'm going to take the greedy line. They didn't kill Cobra. I feel like that is just an indication that this hand is not removal-based. By the way, their commander, Belladros. I was wrong. Belladros with a Bloom, 7 mana, 4/4 with flying. At the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token with whenever this creature dies, you gain 1 life, and then you can pay 10 to untap all lands you control, but only once each turn. Back to the command zone, please. It was worth taking a shot, I think, at Tatyova, because either way, like, the Cartographer's Survey here is going to allow me to get back up to that mana. I could also do the Cultivate, which would allow me to hold up and Tail's End. So I want island, snow-covered island here, I think. Green. Green. Maybe we go cartographer survey. Could also do memory deluge. I don't have a line that allows me to hold open Tail's End, but they're not on Belladros, so there's not really a definite chance that the Tail's End is going to be useful anyway. Could try for this. If I hit Field of the Dead, we are laughing. Memorial and Forest. Okay, green, green, and pass the turn. Well, we've got a lot of mana. We can say that with certainty. Our opponent has the Hour of Promise. If they've got the Field of the Dead, they've got it active. I do have Field of Ruin, though, so I can ruin their career. They don't have the Field of Ruin for mine when I find it. My deck's all about finding it. So, oh, Cultivate a Colossus. But I don't have lands in hand. That's kind of like the thing, right? Power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. When it enters the battlefield, you may put a land from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. If you do, draw a card and repeat the process. So I really want lands in hand before Cultivate a Colossus goes off. So I could go maybe Memory Deluge and Dig. That allows me to even Field of Ruin. Let's take Bounty. Bounty and Forest. Then I could play Bounty, giving our opponent one more zombie for 2 non-land cards now. Seems okay. Right, I'll keep the land in hand. Let's play the Reclaimer. That's our Field of the Dead ready to go if our opponent doesn't kill it. Well, they're hovering it. They're hovering it. Well, they didn't kill Lotus Cobra. Then we played Tatyova and they killed it. We haven't really played much since for them to kill, so there is a chance that maybe 2 of these are removal spells, I think. Something like that. But they're not absolutely turbo slamming the removal on Reclaimer, and I would think that against a Tatyova deck you'd want to do that. They do have Belladros mana, right? For 8, yeah, they've got Belladros mana, so they can play Belladros and then pay 10 to untap it. You get to even float some mana to get some extra stuff here. Opponent's down to 13, so it wouldn't take too long for me to kill them. And a Lolth. Make some spiders.
Do what I demand.
And then Vraska's Contempts my Reclaimer. Okay, this is bad. This is very bad. Alright. I don't know if Lotus Cobra's really doing much for me here, but our opponent gains life and draws cards if I were to let it die, so little against doing that just yet. Right. I just don't have the tools at my disposal right now. A River's Rebuke would be nice. I haven't really got anything in my yard that's useful. Could go Cavalier, I suppose. Can block Belladros. Let's just get Hashep Oasis, I suppose. There goes my River's Rebuke. So I can Timeless Witness it back. Play this on green. Timeless Witness. River's Rebuke. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have hand disruption. Then I can Field of Ruin, the Field of the Dead. Getting, I guess, a green source. I'm not sure it really matters. That allows me to hold up and Tail's End and Jwari's Disruption. And I just have to survive. So block with absolutely anything I possibly can. And hope that that's good enough. Don't imagine Jwari's Disruption's going to do much here. Tail's End perhaps, but unlikely.
Oh yes, I know the knowledge you seek.
They know it's coming, and they can only... Ooh, alright. So that I might as well Tail's End. If it resolved, it would only go back to their hand. And I'd probably want to get rid of it, honestly. Maybe I'm getting punished, though. This could be... Yeah, I mean, if our opponent's willing to go down to 4, maybe their follow-up line of play is disgusting. If they're willing to go down to 4 and they don't clear my board, I win on the backswing. Movenwald Hydra. Do I just win on the backswing? As long as I keep my Cavalier of Thorns alive. And Cavalier dying would get me what? Could get Counter Magic with Decisive Denial. Bounty. Maybe that's a thing to do. I don't think I'm taking 17 here. Certainly not if our opponent's holding back. So block. Block 2, 4, 6, 7. To avoid our opponent gaining life and drawing a card from the Lotus Cobra, I'll take 7. And can you beat this Rebuke?
My power is for annihilation.
I don't think they can. I rebuke you. Just checking if I could get on my Decisive Denial back. I don't think I've got the mana to really do it. So all your permanents go back. They have to kill Cavalier or it's bye-bye for them. Assassin's Trophy. Could have played Tatyova. No, I couldn't. Never mind. I've already got command attacks on it. Now I can play Commander. My Commander, though. We're going to get... I think just Bounty of the Deep. Green. When this board state gets reset. I could play Ancient Green Warden. But I think I'm going to play Tatyova. And a land. Draw my card. Put our opponent to 2. And see where we go from there. So, I can't really save Jwari's Disruption for Cultivator Colossus, because it says put a land onto the battlefield, and this is technically a spell on its front side. Blood on the Snow, how rude. Nothing in their graveyard though, right? Oh, they didn't have the snow for it? Opponent's at 2 though, I just have to push through some damage. I guess I could do that with Cultivator Colossus. They don't have an answer to it just yet. If I play Bounty first, I'll get a land. Grafted Identity is kind of nice. So, Cultivate a Colossus. Land into play, draw a card. Brazen Borrower is very nice. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. So, 2 unknown cards. By the looks of things, they have to be answers to Cultivator or they die. 3 unknown cards, 4 mana. Not removal, and we win the game. Wow. Yeah, we had Brazen Borrower to bounce 1 permanent, so we can get rid of the... Well, they have to put in, I think, Ubenwald Hydra to even stand a chance, and it's not enough there either. So I guess they play this down. It's an 11/11 because it gets a land, plus the Shovel, but we bounce with Brazen Borrower, so it's 14 minus the 3 coming through. And then we also have Voracious Hydra to fight, and then we can also sacrifice it afterwards to take control of a creature. So we have too many ways of getting our opponent's blockers out of the way. And yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Without further ado, going to end it. Take care and peace.